Luxury SUVs. The best of them are comfortable, packed with the latest tech and best materials, and offer a great driving experience. They're supposed to make you feel good, like a first-class seat on an airplane. But just because you're dropping big money on one of these Luxo barges, it doesn't mean they're all great or even good. And that is where we come in. We've done all the test driving for you. So here's our list of the absolute best luxury SUVs for 2025 and 2026. And you might want to get your lederhosen out because Germany is going to be very, very well represented on this list. We're Edmunds, and we test hundreds of cars each year on the road and at our private track, so you get the most trusted reviews. If you want to know which car, truck, or SUV is the best, then stick with us. We're going to kick things off in the extra small category, and the good news is that our picks aren't just easier to park and more affordable, they also don't make compromises on the luxury part of the equation. Our top pick in this class is the BMW X1. We were surprised by how roomy the X1 feels inside despite its smaller dimensions and how much practical storage space it offers. It comes standard with heated seats, a power liftgate, dual zone climate control, and a big touchscreen with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And if that's not enough for you, BMW offers a ton of upgrades that really do get you a more luxurious feeling car, like a more powerful engine and a Trick adaptive suspension and numerous tech and safety upgrades. That being said, we don't love how pricey some of the options packages are, and we don't love that some basic features like adaptive cruise control are optional. We're also not fans of the automatic engine stop-start feature that's meant to save you gas at stoplights. The engine starts are just too rough and they take a hair too long, so you end up hitting the go pedal, but there's a delay while the engine fires up, and that gets annoying. By the way, if you're shopping for an X1 or any of the other vehicles mentioned in this list, check out the links in the description. They'll take you to Edmunds, where you can find our full reviews and will even help you find the best deal on a model near you. If you don't like the X1, we recommend the Mercedes-Benz GLB. The boxy styling makes the GLB stand out from the crowd. It reminds me of a luxury take on the old Scion XB, and I mean that in a good way because its height makes more space for passengers and cargo alike. With the tall roof, this might be the easiest tiny SUV to get in and out of, full stop. You also get a great view of the road thanks to the big windows, but oddly enough, we wish the sun visors were a little bit larger to match. Like the X1, the GLB offers a ton of optional upgrades, and just like the X1, they can get a bit pricey for our taste. We also found that the GLB isn't quite as nice to drive as the BMW, as long as you remember to shut off that auto stop-start system. Compact SUVs are some of the most popular vehicles on the road, bar none, thanks to their mix of practicality and approachable dimensions. And in the luxury class, our picks definitely don't skimp on the premium features. There are so many strong contenders that we actually have a bit of a situation here, because depending on what you want, there are two vehicles we put at the top of our list, so listen closely. If style, design, comfort, and a heaping scoop of high-end features are your top priority, check out the Genesis GV70. We love the GV70's interior. It got top marks from all of our testers. It looks amazing. Just about everything you touch feels premium, and it's really, really comfortable. If you stick with the GV70 2.5T, that's the less powerful 4-cylinder engine, it's also a really good value. You can get massaging front seats and a fully leatherette trimmed cabin for a reasonable price. And the Genesis comes with a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty that no other luxury brand dares to match. The GV70's biggest problem is that it's not all that inspiring to drive. The more powerful V6 engine in the 3.5T models is a very expensive upgrade that just isn't worth the money. The GV70 3.5T isn't as fast or sporty as our next contender, and on top of that, it gets worse gas mileage without being any cheaper to buy. Now, if you want a fun and engaging compact luxury SUV, the BMW X3 is the way to go. In particular, the 6-cylinder M50 xDrive model. Our testing team gets in and out of everything from Toyotas to Lamborghinis, so it says something when they describe an SUV as pretty awesome. At our test track, the X3 M50 was quicker than a lot of the sports cars we test, and it also showed great handling chops, even if the suspension is a little on the firm side to get those excellent dynamics. The rest of the X3 is great too. You can pretty much take everything nice we said about the X1 and apply it here, but you just get more of everything. More room, a much bigger trunk, a stronger engine, and even more available features. Where the X3 falls a bit short is cabin quality. A lot of the touch points are plasticky and don't live up to the cabin standards set by the Genesis. If you still need help picking between the two of these, I have good news for you. My buddy Nick just did a full comparison of the X3 and GV70, so be sure to check that out for all the details. Now it's time for the midsizers, and to me, this is where these things really start to feel like luxury vehicles with their copious passenger room and bigger feature lists with larger price tags to match. We put the Mercedes-Benz GLE at the top of the heap. The attention to detail here is immaculate. From the design to the materials, every square inch of the GLE looks and feels luxurious. The seats are exceptional, cushy and perfectly shaped for support. The tech is top-notch too, with a beautiful touchscreen and a properly amazing Burmester stereo. The interior is dead quiet too, so you can fully enjoy the audio experience. We'd skip the optional air suspension though. It makes the GLE feel floaty, and the standard suspension is plenty comfortable on its own. You might be getting tired of hearing us say this, but you'll need to watch out with the options packages. They add good stuff, but the price of the GLE climbs quickly as you start pulling things off the shelf. But we do have to say, at least in this Mercedes, you'll never wonder where your money went because its interior and technology will match the price. If you're liking any of the vehicles that we've mentioned so far so much that you're looking to replace your current set of wheels, we are here to help. Head over to Edmunds where you can get an instant cash offer on your car without even giving us your email. And now for something completely different, we present the Lexus GX. This really isn't like anything else on our list today. It's boxy and aggressive, and if you go for the over-trail trim, it's a capable off-roader. We actually bought a GX with our own money to add to our one-year road test fleet, and in the short time we've had it, it's proven itself off-road against the toughest competition and done the everyday work of school drop-offs and weekend getaways. Even geared up for trail duty, the GX is comfortable and quiet on the highway. This is a pleasant and serene place to spend time, so as a staff, we're always fighting over who gets to take it home every day. But the GX, it does have a few quirks, and one of the more notable ones is the tight confines for backseat passengers. Something this big just feels like it should have way more room back there. And the way the second row flips forward when you fold it is also awkward. It doesn't provide a flat load floor for moving larger items or to lay down a mattress when you're camping. Both the GLE and the GX have the option of adding a third row that can seat 2 additional passengers, but that third row is very, very cramped in both. It's really only good for kids in booster seats. We wouldn't recommend putting an adult back there unless you don't have any other choice or you don't like them very much. I'm talking to you, Clint. If you want a third row that will keep even your tall friends happy, or you just want the luxury dial cranked all the way up to 11, there's really only one large luxury SUV that ticks all the boxes. We think if you're going big, you should go with the Mercedes-Benz GLS. It's like driving around a luxury condo with enough space even in the third row for 6-foot adults. And even though it's big, this still doesn't feel like a barge from behind the wheel. Even the standard motor in the GLS 450 is powerful enough to match the acceleration from some smaller and lighter performance SUVs. And it can also tow up to 7,700 pounds. It's a leather-wrapped, tech-packed luxury vault that also happens to be a serious powerhouse. The GLS also tops our list for the best super luxury SUV and the best large performance SUV with the Maybach GLS, which is one of the most comfortable, well-appointed ways to travel on 4 wheels, and it ditches the third row to make more room for reclining luxury thrones for your passengers, and that makes it a joy to both drive or be driven in. And the AMG GLS63 packs 600 horsepower under the hood, enough to accelerate this behemoth from 0 to 60 miles an hour in under 4 seconds at our test track. That makes it faster in a straight line than our supercharged Mustang Dark Horse. Now, just because you want a luxury SUV doesn't mean you don't care about efficiency, and right now, if you want a hybrid luxury SUV, you're probably better off going for a plug-in hybrid, or PHEV for short. There aren't a lot of normal hybrid options and none that we'd recommend over the best luxury PHEVs out there. Plug-in hybrids can function just like a regular hybrid, but with the added bonus of offering some upfront electric range if you can park it in a garage with a plug nearby, even a regular 120 volt outlet to keep the battery juiced up. Our top pick is going to be familiar. It's the Mercedes-Benz GLE 450e, which has an estimated 50 miles of all-electric driving range. That's enough to get most people through their daily commute gas-free. The PHEV GLE's biggest weakness is that once you run out of electricity, your fuel economy won't be any better than the standard and cheaper GLE 350. So just make sure to keep it juiced up. That 50 miles of range is better than most of the plug-in hybrids out there at the moment, and unlike most other PHEVs, you can also charge the Mercedes at a fast charging station. The runner-up is the Volvo XC60, a proper masterclass in restrained luxury design. The plug-in version gives you much better fuel economy than the GLE, but less all-electric range. The Volvo only manages an estimated 35 miles without gas. That's nothing to sneeze at, and the overall boost to efficiency actually makes it a more flexible choice if you're looking at a PHEV but can't charge at home. But if you want to ditch the pump entirely and go fully electric, the good news is that there are some awesome electric luxury SUVs out there. Our absolute favorite is the BMW iX. Is Germany paying us? Seriously, because if they are, I'd like my cut and I'll take it in bratwurst. The iX is both a great luxury vehicle and a great EV. The outside is, well, it's what I'd call unfortunate, but the inside is amazing, with an eye-catching design in the right way this time, and a mix of high-quality materials blanketing the cabin. It's also a wonderful car to drive and to ride in, with acceleration that puts most gas SUVs to shame, and a comfortable, quiet ride that everyone will enjoy. The iX has also consistently overperformed in the Edmunds EV range test, where we put EPA estimates to the test in a real-world driving loop. One iX we tested managed to go 377 miles on a single charge, further than any Tesla by a good margin. And the iX is bigger than you might think. It's actually a mid-size SUV, and that means it has a really spacious interior and plenty of cargo space. But what if you want something a little bit smaller? Our number 2 pick then is the Genesis electrified GV70. Remember all the nice stuff we said about the GV70 earlier? The electric version is just as nice on the inside and just as comfortable on the road, but it improves on the weakest part of the GV70 experience, those oddly thirsty gas engines. Here at Edmunds, we test everything, and that means we also get our hands on ultra high performance luxury SUVs like the Lamborghini Urus and the Aston Martin DBX, which deliver near supercar performance in a family-friendly package. And the best of these vehicles to us is the Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT. It actually shares a platform and an engine with the Lamborghini Urus and the Audi RSQ8, but Porsche tunes the engine, the suspension, the handling all on its own, and their SUV is better to drive than pretty much anything else, even the Lamborghini. It's got better handling, it pulled well over a G on our skid pad, and it goes from 0 to 60 miles an hour in just 3.2 seconds. So if you want to drive your family around, but you still want ungodly acceleration and fantastic handling, the Porsche is for you. Just know that you're going to get horrendous gas mileage in the process, but it costs about half of what the Urus does, so I guess you're saving there. Thousands of hours of work go into a list like this because we haven't just tested and reviewed the vehicles we mentioned today, we've tested and reviewed every single one of their competitors too. That's why we can say with confidence that these are the best luxury SUVs. And if you appreciate all the work we do, make sure to like and subscribe. That's how we know you'd like us to keep going. So in 2025 and 2026, it looks like BMW and Mercedes are really at the top of their game, but there are always new competitors and always new cars and SUVs to test, so stick with us to see if this list changes at all next year. Thanks for watching.